What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 6 of our Transport Fever 2 Let's Play. If you're new to this series, feel free to check out some of the older videos. If you like what's going on, I would love, a subscribe, a comment, let me know how I'm doing, like the video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. So we are currently looking at one of the rail lines that we put in at the end of last episode. It's this fuel line running down to Heathfield that involves the shipping of the crude oil and the refined oil across this little bay. It's operating pretty well. If we go into our stats and we find our most profitable lines, it is this line right here, Reepham Heathfield Oil, making us $500,000. That's not bad. We'll probably have to go ahead and start to think about increasing the capacity of shipping that we have down the line. Once this levels up, we're going to need to figure out how to move it across so that the rail can bring it down to this fuel refinery. You can also see that this has a huge stock of refined oil, and it's just not producing at the level that we would like it to because the demand is not there, because it's only delivering to Heathfield, which only demands 116. Even still, with that limited demand, you can see that this fuel line, the truck line, is not able to handle the capacity. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a couple more trucks onto this line and let them deliver, as much as they can into Heathfield to help that city grow. One thing that we can do to help this fuel refinery increase, and this actually brings us into our goals for today, is to figure out a way to get this fuel down here to Stourbridge. So I'm imagining a rail line that will cut here to the left around this oil sand deposit and sweep down here and incorporate into the passenger rail line that's going to run from Tetford up to Reepham. So it'll incorporate into that. We'll probably have a station here, and then both the passenger line and the cargo line will both run down here into Stourbridge. So if we're going to start to do that, the first thing that we can go ahead and do, I'm going to let time run a little bit now. We'll go half speed. I'm going to configure this station to add a cargo platform on right here. Just go ahead and fix that up. So we're going to need a cargo platform. And if we have a cargo platform, we're also going to need a truck station. So we don't have a ton of room for it the way that this is built, but I'll probably just go ahead and add a truck station. If we spin this around, we want one 30-meter platform. I'm going to go ahead and extend this roadway out a little bit, just so that we don't get that bending in the road. And I'm going to try and sneak this, kind of as close in here as I can. Right about there. And then if we go in here and configure this, I should be able to delete that and add. No, so it's too close. So we got to move it out just a little bit more. So if we put it maybe there, and then configure this station, we should be able to add a one-way. Man, it really doesn't like that. What doesn't it like? I'm going to pause it because I probably just messed up a bus line. So if I put this in here, and now we come back into our roads. See, I really don't want that. I wish I could move this. This is just going to take some... it's going to take some working with. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put the road back in. Make sure that my lines are working, so now we can play it again. And I'm just going to see if I can figure this out. So if I go maybe there and configure it, and I did a passenger station. Man, this is a mess. This is a mess. Truck station, one stop, right there. And now if we go in here and configure this, yep, Should be able to get that in. We'll make it a little bit larger. Put an exit. We might have to move that bus stop just a little bit when we come in here with our one-ways. Nope, so it'll work. And then we'll put this entrance right here. And that's not too steep. That looks fine. And then we'll just come back in here and just kind of smooth this out a little bit. So now we have a truck station so we can move our cargo. Again, we're going to be bringing in fuel. So if we go into our overlays and check where the fuel is, it's right here. So that should be a pretty easy delivery. We're going to want to think about upgrading some of these roads. So I might go ahead and do that now. So if I come through here, pause real quick. I don't know if this is going to let me upgrade. It might be too close. Yeah, it's too close. So if we just delete this road, and probably this road as well, we want to get a road with bus lanes in here. We want it to run right like that. And then this will probably be bus lanes, and then this will probably be bus lanes, and then we need to go ahead and add that bus stop back on there and make sure that it fixed our route. So this is Kingsway. Yep, Kingsway is still number 1. And now we need to go back and add that one-way road back in. And now if we press play, that bus should go right back. Those passengers should go back. Good to go. So we're going to want to upgrade with bus lanes this whole set of roads. And you can see that this generally costs a lot of money if there are buildings on the road. This time it wasn't too bad. It's kind of an awkward little slope there, but it'll function fine. And now that there are bus lanes, that'll just facilitate moving this freight around much easier. I might go ahead and punch a bus lane right through here. I don't think this has road connections to any other cities. It doesn't. So we don't really need to worry about that. But I'll probably just put a bus lane right down the center here and just connect that through. All right, so now we've got the infrastructure set up here at Stourbridge. We're gonna need a rail station here. So I'm thinking I'm gonna delete this road out of here and put in a rail station generally in line with the edge of the map so that we can run a cargo line up here to this oil facility, a passenger line up here to Reepham, and connect a passenger line in from Stourbridge. Now, the passenger line can't be the same. At least I don't think it can. Because the passenger line running from Tetford up to Reepham is going to be on the outside of the passenger line, of the cargo line bringing the fuel in. But the fuel line is going to be on the outside coming into Stourbridge. Does that make sense? Just because of the way that we've already built it. We need to see if we can add in some sort of cargo, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to with the way that this road is oriented. Let's see, if I put the cargo... If I put the little cargo stuff down here... Yeah, it's still in range. That will work. I would prefer it over here, but it would mean tearing out this whole thing that we just put in and putting in a whole new one. But anyway, so we're actually going to have this rail line, the one that's running through Stourbridge now, terminate here at Tetford. So we're going to need I'll do a passenger station, 240 meters, with 2 platforms, and we're going to have to edit this down the line. So we want it generally perpendicular. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe about there. And now let's see if we can go in and figure out a little road network that's going to work here. So if I bring a road, you know, straight across like that, just planning for the future with a larger road. And then if we bring this road in and just carry it in the way that it's going, no bus lanes. And then bring this road in. That should work. We should be able to make a little bus route going through here. Maybe if we want this road to be a main road, and then kind of coming down here like this. I don't know why it's not letting me upgrade this. Construction not possible. Let's see if I delete it and then put it back in. Oh, I think it's because that intersection is... So if I delete that... Yeah, now it'll let me do it. And I actually want bus lanes on these roads. I could go ahead and upgrade these already. I'm not going to. I think that that's fine for now. It's kind of a weird street layout, but, you know, places develop the way that they're going to, and you get some weird street layouts. So we're going to want a bus stop here at the train station. We are going to want probably 4 stops should cover this whole area. Maybe 1 here, 1 here. Does that cover? That covers most, and then maybe 1 coming back up this other side for now. That should work. This is definitely going to be an odd layout. And I'm going to want a waypoint coming right here. So after this Park Avenue stop, we'll just waypoint it. We'll make that a light purplish color. And this will be a bus. Tetford bus to train. And now we're going to need a road depot. We see that we've got some industry down here. So I'll probably go ahead and spin this around and add this in here by this industry. And we'll get, you know, maybe passenger, maybe 4 of these on the line. So we make this a nice, that nice purple color. Go ahead and put them on this line. You'll see them coming out. And now we've got this rail station built. So now we can go ahead and connect this up. So if we go into our tracks, and we go with this line right here, let's just see how this wants to do it. So if we put that on this track, there's a collision. Where's the collision? It's right there. Really, even though that's underground, that's colliding? Is that the only collision? Interesting. All right, so we can do one of 2 things. We can go out around it, you know, out and around, or we can cut inside of it and then hook up to that station. I'll probably go out and around. So we'll get this track. We'll come out. We'll see if we can get this to connect in where we want it. So there's no collision. Looks pretty good. We got this awkward road thing going on. I'll clean that up in a minute. Pretty big bridge. Let's see if I can fix that. So now we get a collision there. So it looks like we're going to have to go with this pretty long bridge, which is not the end of the world. I mean, bridges are a thing that happens. So we'll go with it. It's a pretty expensive piece of track. Just make sure that this is using the same bridge. We're going to clean up this road. And now we're just going to bring this track all the way in here. Make sure it's connected up. It is. And now let's go ahead and clean up this roadway mess. Just because it's not necessary. We'll walk that all the way back there. And then I'll take this one and bring it back there. That just wasn't necessary. That didn't need to be like that. And now this is also kind of odd. So we'll just clean that back up to there and reconnect it in the future. So now we're going to need... I'll probably put in a cargo platform here. I don't know if we'll need it, but it probably will be nice to have it at some point. So I'll put in a cargo platform just in case we ever need to bring something down here by rail. And that's also going to be our pass-through. And then we need another passenger station for our line that's going to continue up to, I believe that's Repo. It'll continue up to Repo. So we'll go ahead and put in, you know, some nice decorations. Make that look nice. This is a huge station now. And hopefully it's kind of making sense what we're going for here. So we're going to bring some track in here. And then walk that right onto here. And then we should be able to double up this track. I don't know why that doesn't want to do it. What if we try and bring it in this way? That works. Does it wanna? Yeah. Alright. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bring this track all the way around. Because this is gonna carry the fuel. Just get these tracks up onto this bridge. Make sure it's all using the same bridge. Where's the collision? So if I bring this back to here, it's telling me that there's a collision somewhere in here. What is the collision? I have no idea what it's colliding with. Let's try and back all this out and see what it's doing. Collision. It won't even let me delete this. Maybe that fixed it. I don't know what that was in there. There's something in there that was preventing us to build this rail line. Very odd. But if we go back in here now and connect these back up, this should work. So we'll connect here. And now this line should run all the way to maybe here, and then it will branch off into this through track. And this is now an enormous bridge. So now we've got 4 tracks going on this bridge. And these cargo tracks is just a through track. So these trains will not stop here. They will pass on up to the fuel point. We're going to need a crossing point here at this station. And now we can go ahead and signal. So we'll do auto signal, yes. And we'll want one set of signals going down this way. And one set going down this way. And we'll go back over here and see where they land. And you see that they came very close. Here and here. And now this needs a cross. This track does not, because it's just going to be one continuation of an existing line. But this is going to need a cross. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. I'm going to delete these signals so that I can just get a bit more space to make this cross. And now we'll go back in, not auto signal, and we'll add those back in. So now we should be able to go into this line, and after Stourbridge, it's going to go up here to Tetford, back to Stourbridge, and then back to Northam. And this line is definitely going to need another couple trains on it. They're all down here by the depot, so we'll probably leave it for now. But this is a really long line now. And so this passenger line is now going to terminate here because we're going to take this cargo line and run it up here in between the oil sand line and Heathfield and loop in right here. So we're going to need another station. We actually don't even need another, or we're not going to do a set of double tracks. We're just going to add a station in right here. And you can see I confused this train. So we'll just flip him around, or he was coming in. So we'll let him come in. I don't know what he was doing. But we'll go ahead and configure this to add another cargo station here. Let's see, he's just getting confused now. Whenever you edit rail stations with a train in the station, they get really confused for some reason. And so now we're going to take a track from here, and we kind of need to see where we're going. So we need to come right around through here. So how sharp can I make this? So if I do that, maybe like that. Alright, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to move this depot. So I'm going to curve this off here. Put the depot back in. Like that. And now we're going to need to let this guy clear. Because again, they get all confused if you don't let them clear. But I'm going to add a passing track right here. 2 tracks, actually. Because we're never going to need another track here. We're never going to need another stop at this station. You can see that this guy is just chugging. He's kind of struggling. We might need a more powerful engine on there. But we are just going to go ahead and, now that he is clear, we're going to add 2 more tracks onto here. Just so that we get a nice connection point for the pass-through. So we're going to take a track from this stop. We're going to drag it all the way down here like that to get a nice pass-through of this station so that we can curve around. And let's see what this is doing. This is going to put a pretty long tunnel. It's going to come out of the tunnel at a similar spot as this other one. And it's not liking this. That'll be fine. And now we'll carry this in to the same tunnel. Drag it all the way up and around. It's using the same tunnel. And then we'll go ahead and try and merge it in. Merge it in right there. And now we're going to signal down this line. Didn't like that signal. Oh, because I don't have auto signal on. So we'll go ahead and signal down this line. Exit out of that. You can see that that brought us to right here. That's good. And now let's just see where this lined up with this road right before it. I like that. So that the trains won't block the road. And now we need to take these 2 pass-through tracks. I'll grab this one. And if we come down to this cargo station, or this pass-through, sorry, this pass-through track, we'll add these in here. This is a huge infrastructure job that we're doing right now, and you can see that we can afford it because we're finally starting to make a ton of money with some of our existing routes. Let's just see if that, make sure that used the same bridge. It did. So we're good. We don't need any crossover here because it's never going to stop at this station. So we'll just put a signal here. And it ran it down to about there. I'm okay with that because this is a pass-through. So we'll run that signal back. And it didn't run it back. It only ran it to there. Or no, it didn't even run it back. So we'll try that again. And that got it. Sometimes you gotta fiddle with some of these mods. So now this line is ready to go to deliver oil all the way down here to Sturbridge. So let's go ahead and set up a new line from here, Station 2, all the way down to Sturbridge, and it should work. And this will be a nice orange rail line. And you can see now it's using this outside platform, whereas the oil delivery is using the inside. So at Heathfield, we want it to load for full and maybe wait 60 seconds. And then at Sturbridge, it can just drop everything. And this is going to be a rail line. Heathfield to Sturbridge. Fuel. And now we're going to need to get a train onto that line. Now, I don't know if there's a depot that can actually accomplish that. I could probably do it with this one if I reconfigured this a bit. I could also probably just add a depot here. Let's see how that would look. So if I ran a track maybe like this, and put a rail depot right like that, that would allow us to access this line, this orange line. So now if we go in here, and we're gonna want, I'll probably go with a BR75. We do have electric, but they are so expensive to run. So expensive. 1 million. What was this other one? 1.4 compared to a BR75 that's 300K. I might go with an A35. We got a lot of money, so let's do it. And now let's go with maybe like 150 meter train to start. And we'll go with that orange color. And put it on this rail line. We should see this come out. This has got a capacity of 144. So this should start seeing, it's starting to see Sturbridge as a consumer. That's going to bump this up and it's going to level up. And you can see it's already starting to put some fuel onto this line. So what that tells me now is that we are going to have to increase the capacity of these trains. These two trains need more capacity. So if we modify those, that, and now how much, see, these are just not delivering nearly enough fuel. But as this levels up, what's going to happen is it's going to demand more oil, more refined oil from this building, which will push this shipment number up, which will cause it to level up, so it will demand more crude oil. And eventually this is going to be producing so much refined oil that we will have to incorporate this second crude oil, or this one, likely this one. But yeah, so that's set up now. We are also going to run a passenger line from Tetford up here to Reepham, just to get Reepham incorporated with what's going on. Start to wake it up. So if we come up here, I'm liking this road and this potential road. So we'll come in here, we'll run this maybe here. I'll use this for now, just so that I get the spacing right. And then that will come up here. And you see that I accidentally put bus lanes onto this road by accident. And now we will connect this up. We will lose a building, but that's okay. And we will also connect this up, just so that we get a nice circulation for our bus route in the future. So now if we put this right here, like so, and now we need to go in here and configure a bus route. So we'll put a bus stop right here. And then I think 4 will probably cover this. So if we put 1 here, maybe 5. 1, 2, and then 4. Yeah, that covers it. So 5 stops. And now let's get a new bus route onto this line. We're going to need 1 waypoint so that it doesn't do crazy stuff. So that's after Park Road. We want it to hit that waypoint. We will make this maybe a nice purplish blue color. And this will be a bus route. Reepham bus to train. And now we need to add a road depot in here. So if we just kind of find our industrial area, it looks like it's kind of over here. So I'll go ahead and add that in, right about here. And now if we go in here and get maybe 4 buses on this route with a high maintenance level to keep those emissions down. And now we need to go ahead and connect this rail line with... See, so I want to actually incorporate it into this line. Probably for a little bit, just to get it around that fishery. So if I come down like this, drag that back just a little bit. Bring that to maybe here, and then we'll break it off into this station. And now maybe once we get to about there is when we'll break this off from this main line. And we'll curve this. Let's see what this wants to do. So we're gonna have a little bit of a tunnel here. That looks okay to me. Go back down here and grab this line. It's looking good. And I could probably just drag this straight into this station. What's that gonna look like? A little bit of a tunnel. Where's this tunnel? Yeah, just a little one. That looks good. And now we just need to add in a little cross. And now we need to bring this down, mirroring that line, making sure it uses the same tunnel. And connecting it in. And now we are going to need an X down here at this end too, because remember, this is the termination of this line. This is not going to be that same line that's running right here. So this Chatham to Stourbridge line, this should actually be the Chatham to Tetford line. And now we're going to have a new line, passenger line, just like that. And we'll make this maybe this teal color. And this will be the rail line for Tetford up to Reepham. And now, because this is a termination line, I'm going to go ahead and add. I'm going to go ahead and add this train depot right here. And we can go ahead and get a train onto this line. We're going to go with the BR75. Passenger cars, so the BR75, maybe 4 of these to start with a high maintenance level. It's that teal color. And that should kick this line off. And while that gets going, let's check this line to see where these trains are. So we have one here. This is a fuel train or the passenger train? Passenger train. So we have one here. We have one here. And then we have one coming in. And what is this? That's a passenger train as well. I'll add one more onto this line. Should spawn right here. Just trying to get a bit more frequency on this green line, and you can also see that the passenger numbers are starting to get higher. There are a lot of people here that want to go. 49. The capacity of this train is 56, so that's just about at capacity, which is pretty impressive for such a small town like this. And now, with a train on this line, we should start to see some passengers moving into this station from up here. So you see that this bus just picked up 2, and we'll see if they drop them off here. It'll be interesting to see how these lines grow over time. I might go ahead and just add a second train onto this line. I wish we had the... If I come in here to this train depot, I wish we had some of these multiple unit trains, particularly the electric ones. Some of the early ones are really good for kicking off early lines. But yeah, so this is good. So now if we come back over here, I assume that this leveled up, and it did. Which is going to start to force this, and this leveled up. Excellent. So now we should be getting a lot of fuel starting to move over. You can see that there's a lot of crude oil waiting here. 62 fuel waiting to be shipped. How far away are these trains? They're coming in now. They're still nowhere near capacity. I was probably a little preemptive on upgrading their capacity, but it's not going to hurt us to have that upgraded capacity. It will just be something that we can watch kind of going forward. So a couple things that I kind of want to get done in the next episode is maybe introduce some planes. A passenger airfield from kind of like To La, maybe like all the way down to like Chatham or over here to Droitwich. Some of these more like isolated cities, maybe like one right in the middle here between Hornsey and Haywards Heath. A passenger line plane. I think that would be super cool to add in. So maybe we'll get to that next time. There are some other passenger routes that I want to add in, some, bus routes and stuff like that. We're going to have to go through and start looking at upgrading lines, seeing how well lines are coping. Like if we come down here, this stop has 38 people waiting, 25 wanting to go up to Bradley Stoke, 6 wanting to go down to Sutton. 38 people waiting. I might go ahead and just add. We've only got 3 buses on here. No wonder we've got so many people waiting. I'll just add 2 more. But you know, at some point we're going to have to go through some of these lines, and you can see these trains are virtually, this train is virtually at capacity. 68, 62 out of 68. Only 4 cars. These trains desperately need to be upgraded. Let's see how much that would cost, and then that might be the last thing that we do. So, like, if we got... Yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to afford this. I would love to get some Flying Scotsmans. They are awesome trains. I don't think that this line deserves them. It is not losing us money. It's right here. It's making us money. It's got decent passengers. I say maybe once this eclipses the 160 mark and it can no longer move the passengers, maybe we could put Flying Scotsmans on. But we'll see. Pretty good number of passengers here. Decent number here, but we've also got this tram line, so we've got great capacity. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap up this episode, guys. Thanks again. If you guys are liking the series, feel free to subscribe, like the video, leave me a comment, let me know how I'm doing. Check out the other videos in the series, again, if you're new. And, you know, hoping to get out a few videos per week. And, you know, it's fun. It's fun doing it. We got a quick autosave here, but we'll go ahead and follow one of these trains on our way out. All right, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks. Bye.